Well, it's a bright sunny Thursday, heading off to the bus stop and off to Cairns. So I get my weekly shopping done after popping into the hospital. Yeah, it's quite pleasant weather, a little bit of a breeze. It's not too hot. Again, I think top temperature about 29 in Cairns, so about 28 here. So yeah, it's not bad. Can't complain. Yeah, there's good old America. They've had another assassination. Just found out about it in the last hour. It's Charlie Kirk, who was he was the head of Turning Point, a sort of conservative organisation amongst students, tertiary students in the US. He was actually at Utah, of all places. Not an area you'd think is particularly radical. Would have been more conservative, but that's where he got shot, at a university. And so you get all this bullshit in the media about right-wing extremists. Well, right-wingers seem to be more the victims of some of these lunatics from the opposite side of the spectrum. Well, I'm only speculating there. I don't know who did it, but I presume it was politically motivated, but it may not have been. We'll find out. But you know, America, gee, I'm so happy I'm in North Queensland. You just don't have crap like that happening here. Although, you know, we do have crime. I was looking up, there was people assaulted on bus stops, funnily enough. Yeah, kids. A gang of youths assaulted some other guy at a bus stop. Didn't say where, but it was in Cairns. So, you know, we do have things like that happening here. I know that the food vendor down at Kawara Beach, probably 6 to 12 months ago, was bashed early morning by a group, I think, that had been partying all night, and they were probably under the influence of whatever. And so stuff happens here, you know. It's not paradise totally, but it's pretty good lifestyle, especially here. But I was shocked to hear about that happening in Kawara. I've actually joined a Facebook group that is Kawara based, so I assume that they've accepted my application to join the group, because it's a private group, and I'm getting feeds about the what's happening locally. Bad news, apart from obviously the assassination's the big one in America, but again, Woolworths is dragging its feet building the new Woolies in Trinity Beach. I looked at their update that's been passed on to Brett Olds, our councillor, and they're going to commence construction next year, and it's going to take 15 months. I mean, that's appalling. That Woolworths was supposed to be up and running several years ago, and now they're telling us that it's going to take 15 months to build. I mean, that's absurd. You'd think Woolworths would know how to build a shopping centre pretty quickly, wouldn't you? I mean, they've had plenty of experience. Anyway, that's very disappointing, and probably an indication of how that corporate entity's operated. I think they're pretty incompetent. They're falling behind Coles, and you can see why. I think they're a bit woke, and that's always a bad sign, in my opinion, if you're looking at a well-performed business. But that's just my opinion. Oh, finally walking home. It's taken a while. It's a very busy bus. Actually, it's been busy all day. I had to actually stand for a short time before I got a seat to Smithfield. And this bus was also packed. I finally got a 111. The only reason I got it was because there's so many people trying to get on board. It was at the stop long enough for me to get there, even though it was after the due time. Yeah, I had a bit of frustration with a delivery of grog I ordered on Tuesday. I ordered it just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it didn't show. The Uber guy didn't turn up till 5:30. It's supposed to get there within 60 minutes. So I've never had it like that before. I had to ring them up And I think the guy just, I think it's at the Trinity Beach liquor land in Moore Street. I think the manager didn't ring up for Uber, so they never turned up. So I had to ring their customer service line, and they finally put the order and said it's going to be there within half an hour. Well, that was crap, because I rang them about 4:30 and it didn't show up for an hour. But what did happen, so I wasn't a happy camper and I was going to complain. But what happened is I found on my email they sent me a voucher for $10, obviously to pacify me. So yeah, it's never happened before. That's pretty bad actually what occurred. So, but at least they did come back with a $10 voucher, so that was good. So it was a good deal, 15% off. But on top of that, I got the $10 as well. So wasn't a bad thing to do, really. And yeah, like I said, today I finally got the 111, which is really unusual. I've been getting the 110 bus all the time, and I just missed the previous 111 actually at the hospital stop. I haven't had terrible luck there, but at least the 110 did turn up this time, so I had to wait about 20 minutes, but still I got back home. That's the main thing. But we did pick up a lot of kids at the university, the Newman College school. So the schools are definitely in. Luckily, the other school, only a couple of kids got on, which I've been without power for 20 minutes. I'm going to be without power from 8:30 through till 2:30 in the afternoon, so it's quite a long stretch. Just got a phone call from Sid, who's kindly offered to give me a lift to Smithfield so and do some shopping, because I was going to get the bus, but he's having car trouble. He's had some problems with the electrics. I think he has fuse problems or something with his car. It's not a new car, so I guess it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But it was good of him to keep me updated. But yeah, the power was just snapped off at 8:31, so it's pretty well on the mark. They need to have access to my place so they can get onto the board. So I'm not quite sure what's happening. I think they're working on a substation, upgrading it. I read somewhere that they were doing some infrastructure improvement. But they may need to come around to my own house to readjust the smart meter. I'm only guessing there. I've got really no idea. And in the background you can hear tapping away. My neighbour, as usual, is just maniacally tapping on something. I don't know what, fences or whatever, but I've never known someone to do so much maintenance, like every single day. The only thing that stopped them from going out and hammering away has been the rain, and that's been a nice respite for me. But he's back in action again today. And yeah, the worst thing is these guys who are tinkerers, they're not builders, so they do everything inefficiently, and so it takes longer. And I think he's probably just bored and he just wants something to do, and decides to make noise, which doesn't really endear him to me, to be quite frank. I like the fact it's nice and quiet around here, but not at the moment, not with him. What can you do? You can't pick your neighbours or your relos, I guess. That's what they say. It's Wednesday, and I'm off to Trinity Beach Coast Watchers shopping centre just to have a blood test, pick up some meds. It's my first walk I've had for in excess of a week. I've been very lazy, and I really do need to get out and about a bit more. I thought about it over the weekend, but just didn't actually do anything. So a lot of good that did me. Made some progress on house renovations. I've got the bathroom is now tiled up to the bath, and I'm thinking of removing the bath altogether. Geez, a bit of work happening there. Neighbour's place. Wow. We're doing quite a bit of landscaping. Yeah, but so the tiles are down. I had one false start. One of the particular tiles right near where I get out of the bath was waterlogged, and had to actually get that one relaid. so I had to wait 3 days before I could use the shower again and use my crappy ensuite shower in the interim, which wasn't much fun. Terrible flow of pressure, and there was water leaking from the hot tap, so I had to be careful with that. So it's a bit of a disaster down the ensuite. It needs to be fixed up, but at least now I've got the tiles all done in the shower. As of Monday, I've been able to use the shower again, and in the bathroom, that is, in the main bathroom. So now, and it certainly looks good. It's a big improvement on those crappy little white tiles. So just aesthetically, it's a big improvement. And the plan is to get rid of the bath and tile all the way to the wall, the exterior wall, and then start tiling the actual walls of the bathroom. That's another big job that I want to get done. It's a lot of stuff and it's going to cost a bit of dough, but you know, these are things I've been putting off for years. And I did sell another lot of Telstra shares. Now I've got rid of all the ones that I paid over $6 for, because the current price is about $4.80, and that's about the highest it's been for a long time. So I just want to get rid of all my expensive shares out of Telstra, which means at least the dividends I'm getting would be a little better percentage-wise than the expensive shares that I held. So that's the theory behind it. It frees up a bit of cash, and I can buy shares elsewhere. The latest ones I bought, actually, I was quite surprised. The pharmaceutical company, or not pharmaceutical, sorry, the pathology company, they just sent me dividends of over $300, which I thought, gee, that's not bad, because I didn't buy that many shares with them, but they're paying almost half of what I'm getting from Coles, and I've had Coles shares for years. Coles share price has gone up substantially, but they haven't increased the dividends. And the same can be said for Combank. They're screwing shareholders as well, because their share price has gone absolute gangbusters, but it's not reflected in the dividend payments. So yeah, they're real tight asses. So I don't think they're looking after investor interests at the moment, both Commonwealth and Coles. And I'll be getting the Combank divs and a Telstra divs, I don't know, today, end of this week, I think. And not that it matters that much, although as long as it comes, that's the main thing, the next few days. So that pays for my new computer that that's hopefully on its way from Sydney to Cairns. So not sure when it's going to arrive, but I've got tracking on it, but the tracking doesn't seem to be updated. It's just told me when it was dispatched, but I don't seem to give an update tracking while it's in transit. So I really don't know where it is, but it'd be a huge improvement in performance, especially with graphical stuff. It's got a GPU, which is a graphic processing unit, specifically designed to handle images, and so that'll make, if I want to do some image manipulation, what have you, it'll make that all work a lot better. So that's something I'm interested in the future, and I want to make the computer a bit future-proof, so it's a bit of a jump in specs compared to the old desktop I've got, which is I purchased over 6 years ago from Centacom. So that's a long time, I guess, in computing. And I have actually upgraded it in the interim, but it's better to get a whole new unit, I think, with different specs that are all built to work with one another. Because my computer now does have a few quirks, so a lot of the times I have to reboot it each time I boot up. I can't get it up and running straight away, so that's a bit of a pain. But apart from that, it seems to be running okay. But yeah, I still want to get a better performing computer with more modern specs. So anyway, with SpaceX talking about technology, they've finally had a successful static fire test on the latest Starship. I think it's 38. Yeah, Starship 38 had a couple of aborted static fire tests, so delayed it by 2 days, but now they're on track to head towards the launch, hopefully in a couple of weeks, of the Starship 11 test flight, the last one using Block 2 architecture, which is the old Raptor engines. They're moving on to the Raptor 3s, which are lighter and with superior performance, and a bit of a game changer. So once you get to Raptor 3, we're going to start looking at actual usable rockets that can be do things like Starlink deliveries, and also refueling in space for the Artemis program in orbit of the Earth. Although I think it's a very messy way of getting the fuel into the ship. I think it could be like 10 different Starship flights required just to refuel that one Starship to make the journey from the Earth to the Moon. And it seems a lot of work to me, and I personally would love to see the nuclear rocket developed, which will make life a lot easier for travel within outer space. You can't use it to get from the Earth to space for the reason it doesn't have the thrust, and for the major reason is you don't want it blowing up and causing radiation fallout on Earth. So you want to make sure you use that thermal nuclear rocket out in space only, where it is definitely a game changer. So, oh well, we'll see. We've had a lot of dry weather here, but we've had a huge patch of wet weather. Absolutely dumped the area, and in a way it was good, because the water storages up here have been really depleted. We were coming very close to water restrictions, so we may have avoided that, hopefully. We'll see. It's weird getting out and actually stretching the legs for a change. It's something I should do a lot more frequently. I should go down the beach. Lots of should-haves in my life. Yeah, and of course things keep happening in the old Ukraine Russia war. It appears to me now that really it's an economic war, because if Ukraine can continue to reduce refined oil production in Russia, they just won't have the money to fight, and they'll be forced to the peace table. That's what we're hoping anyway, and on Ukraine's terms, not Russia's ridiculous land grab terms. Oh, that's all done, thank God. Always enjoy the return leg back home, mainly because I get my reward, my filtered coffee with condensed milk, Vietnamese style. Always love that. Other thing I forgot to mention, this chronic cough that I've had, it seems to have passed. So it's passed for about a week anyway. I don't want to jinx myself, but it has been that long since I've actually had it, which is the longest break I've had since I contracted the damn thing. Usually I just get a respite of 24, 48 hours tops, but it's been longer this time, so fingers crossed it may persist. So that's good news. I'm making up for that last walk I may have had a week or two ago, where I saw no dog walkers down near Kawara. This time I've passed by at least 3, so a lot more popular today than it was when I went last time in Kawara itself. Maybe I just passed by someone in Trinity Beach walking their dog, so most of them are in Kawara though. Well, the weather's good though, it hasn't been a problem. Not that I could confirm it with the radar because of course it's on the blink. For some reason the Cairns radar seems to have technical glitches all the time. It's always breaking down and you have to go to a different one. I mean, Jesus, you think they fix it eventually, but no, we don't get the same facilities you get in the big smoke, that's for sure. Anyway, crossing the border from Trinity Beach to Kawara, so about a third of the way back home. It's all good, but it's getting quite warm actually. It's supposed to be 30 today, so that's slightly less than the previous day, so 31 degrees, but you can still feel it's all about humidity actually. Usually what makes it feel hotter. Here's the latest floor tile job that Dale did for me in my bathroom. It only goes as far as the old bath. I'm considering quite strongly to just remove the bath because it's a very old hat, get rid of all of that and just extend the tiles right to where the shower head will be. I'll probably get a rain shower head, but I think it's a vast improvement on those terrible small white tiles. So we just had one hiccup with that tile just near the drain. Just near the drain there, next to the bath, and that got a bit waterlogged. But apart from that, all smooth sailing. And they're only $20 a square metre for the Nero tiles at Bunnings, so quite cheap actually. So pretty happy with that. Well, it's going to be my first bus trip in 2 weeks to Cairns, so that's been a nice break from riding the buses. And yesterday I got delivery of my new computer with the whiz-bang graphics card in it, the 5070 card. And what was it got here really quickly because I only put the order in on Friday in Sydney, and they got it up here Wednesday midday, so that wasn't bad. But I was quite shocked when I opened the box and had a look, because it was the computer box was filled with packing, polystyrene and foam cubes, that type of thing, just to protect the components. So I was a little concerned about that because there was no instructions on how to actually open up the box and remove all that stuff. So I had to ring them up after I had lunch, and the guy explained to me, well, first off, he couldn't work out which box it was. They obviously got quite a few numbers of different boxes at JW Computers, so I had to establish that because he gave me the wrong instructions initially. But then we worked out which one I actually had, and it wasn't that difficult at all to open up the box. Actually, it's quite simple. It's a glass window that slides down, quite easy to. Just a couple of screws need to be loosened, which you can do with your hand, and it's just a matter of sliding the glass up, and then just remove all the packing from the interior of the computer. I wish they'd told me all this before I bought it, because this didn't happen with Centacom when I had my first delivery from Melbourne 6-7 years ago. But anyway, I got it all cleared out. I only did half of it initially, and I realised I still left a whole lot of packing in there. Had to open up again and finally cleared everything out, but I was a little paranoid that I might have left some stuff in there, because the whole point of having a clean box is so the airflow is good and it keeps the components cool, because especially got a higher end graphics card, they produce a lot of heat. So but anyway, I got it all sorted today. I finally put it on a test run. I actually put the power in and had to use the current keyboard for the other computer. Did a bit of swapping around, but finally got it up and running, and it seems to be working fine. I I didn't put the Ethernet cable in. It's actually got Wi-Fi, this particular unit, so I was able to hook up using Wi-Fi. So I left the Ethernet cable in with my old computer for the time being. I'll probably get an Ethernet splitter box because Ethernet connections are a bit faster than Wi-Fi. Even though it's right next to the modem, it does definitely slow it down a little bit. So, but look, I'm pretty happy I finally got the damn thing, because, you know, with Windows 10 support finishing in a week or so's time, or about 3 weeks, I think the 14th of October, I think, is when it finalises. I want to have a workhorse computer that has all the security updates and what have you from Windows. So now I've got it. Now I've just got to configure the damn thing. It's going to be a lot of work. Hopefully synchronise settings, but I'm worried I won't be able to remember passwords and what have you. That's the major hassle with doing this sort of thing. Yeah, so that's basically another headache out of the way, and I'll play around with it tomorrow or sometime on the weekend. May go to the AFL Grand Final on Saturday. They've got 10% discounts on food and drink, and I'd like to see the Brisbane Lions win. Although I don't mind Geelong, I like both teams actually. But it should be a very good match. Just trying to work out. Oh, the framing's out. Yeah, with my eyesight, I gave you a shot of clouds there. I had to just. It's hard for me to see, especially with a bit of sun, the framing. So I apologise for that. If you find any of this stuff interesting, what I'm churning out, just please support the channel by subscribing, commenting, giving us a thumbs up. The usual stuff we all ask for as creators. Haven't had an update for a couple of weeks. It just hasn't been much to talk about, to be quite frank.